Hello grade 5, this is our second online lecture in semester 2, and in this lecture we are going to talk about fractions. So let us start first. Our objectives is to identify the numerator and the denominator of a fraction. We are going also to identify proper and improper fractions. Then we are going to recognize the fractions that are less than, equal, or greater than 1. So to divide our work, first we are going to remember together, because I think this is something you have already learned before. We are going to revise together what's the meaning of a numerator and the denominator of a fraction. Then we are going to learn what's the meaning of a proper and improper fractions. Then later on we can tell if a fraction is greater than, less than, or equal to 1. So first of all, as I told you, we are going to remember together what's the meaning of a fraction and what are the components of a fraction. So a fraction, it actually consists of a numerator and a denominator. So you know that a fraction, it has a numerator and a denominator which are separated by a line of fraction. The numerator, which is found above the line fraction, tells how many parts out of all are there, and the denominator tells how many total parts are there. So suppose you want to say, for example, I have a circle which is divided into 4 pieces, okay, or 4 parts. I colored 3 parts out of 4. So 3, it tells how many parts out of all, so it's the numerator. And 4, it tells what are the total parts, so it's the denominator. So we represent this diagram as 3 out of 4, or 3 over 4, and this is the line in the middle, it's the line of fraction. Let us take another example. So suppose you have a pizza and you divide the pizza into 3 pieces, and 2 out of 3 of the pizza is left, but 1 out of 3 of the pizza is eaten. So the pizza, it's you can represent in 2 ways. Either we represent the parts or the pieces eaten, or we can represent the pieces left. So if you want to tell how many parts are left or how many pieces are left, you say that 2 out of 3 are left. But if you want to answer a question which says how many pieces are eaten, it's 1 over 3. Because 3, it's the total number of pieces. Another example, suppose we have 3 cups of water, or 3 glasses of water, and 2 out of them are filled with water and 1 out of the glasses is empty. So we say 1 out of 3 of the glasses is empty, so we represent it as 1 over 3. So instead of saying all these, I just write 1 out of 3, where 1 is the numerator, it tells how many parts or how many glasses are empty, and 3, it tells how many glasses actually do we have. And we can say that 2 out of 3 glasses of water are filled. Now, after revising together what's the meaning of a fraction and what are the components of a fraction, we are going to tell what are the fractions that are less than or equal to 1 or greater than 1. Let us tell what do I mean. A fraction, it actually represents equal parts of a whole or a collection. So fraction of a whole, when we divide a whole into equal parts, each part is a fraction of the whole. What I'm trying to say is that I have this, let us say it's a watermelon, and I divided the watermelon into 2 parts. We actually say that those 2 parts, those 2 halves, they make the whole watermelon. So I can divide it into 2 equal parts, or I can divide it into 4 equal parts. So each one of them, we can say that it's 1/4, but the half, we say that each part is 1/2. So look at this here. We have 3 parts out of 4 are left, so we say that 3 out of 4 of the watermelon is left. Now look at this circle. this is a complete circle. This is a whole. We are trying to tell together what's the meaning of a whole. So here I have a complete circle which is colored. So we say that the whole circle is colored. So one circle is colored. But when I divide the circle into two parts and I just color half of it, we say that one half, which is less than a whole circle. Even 1 out of 4, it's still less than a complete circle. Also 3 out of 4, it's less than a whole circle. So we can say that 1 over 2 is less than 1. 1 over 4, it's also less than 1. And 3 out of 4, it's less than 1. 1, I mean one whole circle. So 1 over 2, 1 over 4, and 3 over 4, they are fractions that are less than 1. But suppose that we don't have a figure. How can I tell that a fraction is less than 1? Fractions that are less than 1 are known as proper fractions. So we tell that these fractions are proper fractions, and the numerator, which is the top number, is less than the denominator. So if I take the previous example, we have 1 over 2 or 3 over 4. If you look at the numerator in both of them, here the numerator is 1 and the denominator is 2. So 1 is less than 2 and 3 is less than 4. So we can say that a fraction which is less than 1 when the numerator is less than the denominator. While the fraction with a numerator that's greater than or equal to denominator, it's known as improper fraction, and of course it's greater than or equal to 1. I'm going to take an example. Suppose I have 12 over 11. Let us try to translate this into a real life. Can I say that I ate 12 pieces out of 11? But there are actually 11 pieces. How did you eat 12 out of 11? That means that I have 2 wholes and I ate a complete one and a part of the other. So here I have a fraction which is greater than 1. So if the numerator is greater than the denominator, means this fraction is greater than 1. And any fraction with the same numerator and denominator is equal to 1. Okay, so 18 over 18 is equal to 1. 199 over 199 is equal to 1. When I say 18 over 18, it's like I ate 18 pieces out of 18. So I actually ate the whole thing, right? So just to summarize, what did we say? We said that proper fractions are fractions that have numerator smaller than the denominator. Let us take an example. 1 over 2, 1 is smaller than 2. 3, it's smaller than 4. 5, it's smaller than 6. 11 is smaller than 20. And 21 is smaller than 25. So all of these are called proper fractions where the numerator is smaller than the denominator. Conversely, we have the improper fractions. Improper fractions are fractions that have the numerator equal or greater than the denominator. Look at 3 over 2. It's greater than 2. I can say I ate 3 out of 2. Always remember this. 7 out of 4, 6 out of 5, 15 over 11, 10 over 10. All of these are called improper fractions because the numerator is equal or greater than the denominator. Now we are going to learn how can I express the fractions in words. So fractions with the numerator 1 are called unit fractions because I'm comparing unit to something. So 1 out of 2, instead of saying 1 over 2, we can say 1/2. Those are special fractions that we can tell. 1 over 2 are called 1/2. 1 over 3 are called 1/3. 1 over 4 are called 1/4. Then 1/5, 1/6. So what we are going to learn is that when I want to express the fraction in words, we write the numerator as 1, then we add THS to the denominator. Okay, so look at this here. Instead of saying 4, we said 4th. So here I have TH. Okay, 1/5, 1/6. So every time in the denominator you have to add THS to represent that this is a denominator. So if you have 3 over 10, how you can tell this fraction? It's actually 3, which is the numerator, tenths. So you add THS to the 10 to indicate that this is the denominator. Let us try to express the following. When I say 1 over 4, we can say that it's 1/4, and we can represent it in many diagrams. So you can split, for example, the rectangle into 4 parts, and you can color one. Or even you can say that out of 4 marbles, we have 1 blue and the others are white. So 1 blue marble out of 4. 5 over 6, we say that this is 5/6. So here I have 6, so I just add THS to the name, so it becomes 5/6. And you can represent it in many diagrams. So you can split the rectangle or the square into 6 parts, and you can color 5 out of 6. Also, you can use them as marbles. 1 over 2, it's called 1/2, and 7 over 8, it's called 7/8. Okay? So that was everything related to our lesson. We revised together what's the meaning of a fraction and how we can represent it. Then we learned what's the meaning of proper and improper fractions and how do I compare them according to 1. So if you have any question, don't forget that we have our live sessions that will be held throughout this week. So you can ask any question, and of course we are going to solve a lot of exercises. See you soon.